Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, we got a pretty serious episode for you guys today that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this Ja Morant story has a lot of people giving their point of views, right? And different people are saying different things. As y'all know, Ja Morant recently did an interview where he sat down with Jalen Rose from ESPN, conducted an interview, and then subsequently the NBA put out a press release about him. And then we found out that he was only going to be serving a total of 8 games, meaning that he only has 2 more games to serve for his suspension. And most likely he'll be back by March 20th, which means that he can join or rejoin his team in the the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, during his absence, we were getting plethora of reports. One of them was that he was checking into some type of facility to work on some of the inner challenges that he may be having. That's all we really heard. The information was a bit vague. But then all of a sudden, this interview came out. The NBA released a press statement, and then we found out that he's going to be able to play basketball within less than a week or so. And that surprised quite a few people. And one of those people was Jay Williams, who is for sure pro player. There's fewer people in media that are more pro player than Jay Williams. And of course, Stephen A. Smith. And they expressed their sentiments yesterday in no uncertain terms on ESPN First Take. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what these two gentlemen had to say after hearing this information, and then we're going to really come back and unpack this thing and give you guys our thoughts on it. Take a listen to what they had to say there.
So I agree with you. Everything that Ja has said, from his statement to even the sit down, like, I want Ja to win, and it sounds correct, right? Taking accountability, owning it, moving it forward. But I'm like, it's been a week and a half.
Yeah.
It's been a week and a half from somebody that's been to counseling centers, from somebody that still talks to a therapist an hour a week, once a week. Like, most of the time when you talk to people that are going through counseling, you don't see them check into a counseling treatment center for a week when they're dealing with anxiety and stress at a high level, when there's been a series of habits that have occurred multiple times. So for me, like, the bigger question is, and I really get afraid about this for Ja, it feels like there's a pattern of Memphis enabling him to a degree for this type of behavior. And once again, I stated by saying I want Ja Morant to win more than anybody. I want to see him be successful. I want to see him be on the court.
Second chances, and you want him to come back better and stronger and get the help, all those things.
But there's like the weird timing of it. Just all of a sudden now we're just rushing the process to get back on the court because there's 12 games left in the season. And if you just win, does all this go away? And for me, this behavior is something that I really want him to be okay when it's all said and done, Stephen A. And this process, even the 8-game suspension, it's really a 2-game suspension. He's already served 6 games. So I'm not saying that the week hasn't been enough time for him to reflect, but to truly address issues of anxiety and stress, you're going to need more than a week to do this.
Involved, along with a plethora of other corporations that want his signature connected to their brand. We wish him nothing but the best. I know I'm rooting for him, and I'm not going to sit up here with him at age 23 and engage in condemnation. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm certainly not saying that you're doing that. I'm just saying I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you, I think that a lot of us, and it's unfortunate we have to go here, but we have to go here. When we saw Ja Morant at the strip club and we were waving the gun, we didn't think there was anything that was bad. Please don't get me wrong. We didn't think there was anything more to it than that until the Memphis Grizzlies came out and had that. Taylor Jenkins, the head coach, was talking. Ja Morant's statement, combined with Taylor Jenkins' words, gave us an indication that there was something else going on. That question still has not been answered. I'm going to say it again to everybody in America. It was stupid to have yourself in a position where you're seen on camera waving a gun.
Yep.
But if that's what it was, we would have just said, it's stupid, he's probably going to get suspended, and we would have moved on. it was his statement that alluded to bigger issues, combined with Taylor Jenkins and them saying there's stuff that's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
That left us saying, what the hell are you talking about? What's going on? And that question was still not answered. And so what I'm saying is that the reason I bring that up is because of what you two just said.
Mm-hmm.
The fast forward. The fact that, 10 days later, here we are. Like, problem solved. It's not going to happen again. That's not that's not the indication that we were given. We were given through the combination of Ja Morant's statement, along with that of Taylor Jenkins and the Memphis Grizzlies, that there was a lingering issue or lingering issues that needed to be addressed.
Here are my thoughts on what these guys just said here and in the situation as a whole. I think the reason that they were taken aback was based on the information that came out and what Ja Morant said in his apology. If you remember carefully, Ja Morant said that he was going to be seeking the proper help to deal with with whatever it was he was dealing with. And these guys were like, well, if this situation is as serious as you're saying it is, that you need to go get help and go speak to someone in Florida, how were you able to overcome whatever challenges you were facing in only a week? That's the first thing. They then pointed out the role that the Memphis Grizzlies are playing. That's the role that Jay Williams said in terms of enabling him, meaning are these guys trying to bring him back too soon? Are they thinking about the interests of the team in terms of the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies, as we speak, I believe they're the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. So they have something to play for as an organization going into these playoffs. They're one of the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference. So their season is still very much alive. And you bring a guy like that back, their best player, back into the fold. Who knows how far they can go if they try to make a playoff run this season. So Jay Williams is probably asking, well, do the Memphis Grizzlies have something to gain, by rushing him back? To me, I can only go off the reports we've gotten, which is he needed to get help. Well, if he needed to get help, apparently he got the help, right? Apparently he went through the entire process, and and he was able to resolve whatever situation he was referring to. That bit of information is a bit strange. Is a bit unclear given all of the other reports that came out with all of the other incidents, like the one that took place at the mall, the one that took place at the school, the one that took place at his house with the kid playing basketball. To me, a lot of this seems a bit unclear, and I think is one of the things that's prompting Jay Williams and Stephen A. Smith to take the position that they're taking. I think that if in fact he was able to kind of work through his issues, then I think that's going to be a positive for him. But if we find out that, okay, he went through this process and then he has a relapse and some other story comes out, then it's going to raise more questions as to why was he rushed back in the first place? Because these guys, I believe, feel like he is being rushed. And if he has, in fact, some serious issues, why not take the appropriate amount of time to resolve them? Of course, there are going to be some people out there that say, no, get him back on the court, let him play, whatever. That's why I said people are going to have different point of views on this particular matter. To me, I just hope that all of the T's, they've dotted all of their I's and crossed all of their T's and done the proper due diligence so we don't witness any relapses and this guy can move on with his NBA career. So what I want to know from you guys is simply this. What do you think about the points that Stephen A. Smith and Jay Williams put forward? What do you think about some of the points that I put forward? And ultimately, do you think that Ja Morant will be ready to go once he returns to the court? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. And we catch you guys on the next show.